All right, Mike, today is Tech Tuesday. We are joined now by Ryan Eldridge, co-founder of Nerds on Call. We are talking about wireless network, Ryan, so Wi-Fi at home. And unfortunately, those dead spaces, you know which area that's not as good as other areas.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest calls that we get is, how do I get Wi-Fi to my back bedroom, or what do I need to do? And so one of the easiest things to do is log into your router and check the settings. Inside there's going to be a couple of different settings, 802.11g and 802.11n, a lot of alphabet soup. But essentially,
what does it mean?
What you want to do is turn off the G. The G standard is old and slow. Most people don't have anything in their house that's supporting G anymore. You want to use the N standard because that's most stuff. But if you buy a new router these days, there's a new standard out that's AC, 802.11 AC.
Okay, so what if I already have the N? Do I need to go out and get this AC?
No, I wouldn't get the AC yet. Your TV, your computer, most things aren't going to support it yet. And so stick with the N, plus it's a little cheaper.
And how do I determine, how do I find this 802.11n or G? How do I find it again?
You can open any browser on a connected computer to the network. We suggest that you plug it in manually instead of going wireless, because as soon as you change settings, you're going to get booted out. But plug in an Ethernet cable to the back of your router, plug it into your computer, launch a browser, and type in this great address, 192.168.0.1. It'll take you right to your router. If it doesn't, then there's usually a 1.1 instead.
How do you
can also go to youtube.com and just look up your router and say, how do I change my settings? And you'll see a bunch of videos.
I think I can handle that. What about location? Because you get this modem, you get the router, and there's not always the best place to put it.
Look at these things. They're so stinking ugly. Who wants that on their mantle?
Exactly. So you put it in the corner in the back.
And unfortunately, that impedes the signal. This is only gets you about 100 feet of range. And so if you hide it in a cabinet or you don't want it out, you're going to impede that. It doesn't go through walls or floors very well, so if you have it on the bottom floor and you want to get signal on the top floor in the back bedroom, it's going to impede that. So you can do a couple of cool little tricks. One is these unscrew in the back, and so you can get a high gain antenna and put on the back for about $10 on Amazon.com. And that'll just replace it. You don't even have to do any configuring or anything.
So a new antenna will give us more range?
Yeah, more range. You can also put on a piece of tinfoil. I know this is funny, but you can put a piece of tinfoil on that in the direction that you want the signal to go, and it'll bounce that signal towards the room you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Foil?
Isn't that weird? We used to say beer can, but this is the 4 o'clock news. We don't talk about beer cans. And then also, you can also get a wireless range extender. This is by Netgear. This is the NZ3700. You can get this at Amazon.com. And all you got to do with this is plug it in to an outlet in your house and then do some minor configuration. The setup disk is in the box. And that'll repeat the signal from your router and give you all of that range that you're missing.
So it's like another device. You put that in another part of the house. Okay, so we're going to check location. What about interfering signals? Like your neighbors?
Well, if your neighbors, if you are jumping on your network, that'll slow you down. So you want to make sure you have a password connected on your network. And when you're in those settings, you can change the password. Make it something kind of cool. In my house, it's called FBI surveillance van, so nobody wants to hack into my network.
I see.
But put a cool password on there. You don't have to remember it, which is great. Make it really long and complicated, then write it on a sticker and put it on your router, so your friends and family can have it.
Because you don't want your neighbors using it, because that's going to make your signal weaker. What about your Bluetooth or other devices?
If we have a baby monitor in our house. We have a 3-year-old, and so we like to watch her sleep because we think it's cute. And if we have that on and we're in the back bedroom, forget it. We're not getting any signal at all. So you get a dual band router, which has 2.4 gigahertz as well as 5 gigahertz.
So many things to think about.
I know. But I promise it's very easy. The 5 gigahertz will give you a lot more range, and it's not as crowded.
About 15 seconds left, Ryan. What if all of these things are check, it's in a good spot, I got the N, not the G. What else can I do?
There's 2 more things you can do. If you're renting it from your ISP, like you're getting from your cable company, ask them for an upgrade. You should be able to get an upgrade if you're renting it. Or go into your router and upgrade the operating system. We call it firmware. You can go to the manufacturer's website, download the firmware, and it'll give you instructions on how to do that. These things, when they get shipped out into the stores, the firmware is about a year old. And so there's all kinds of fixes they do by the time you actually buy it.
Updates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like your computer.
Ryan Eldridge with Nerds on Call. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.